are back.
Black Summit in effect once again.
We've been having a lot of guests on lately, huh?
Yeah.
It's been a while since we did just me and you, you know?
Yeah. Pause.
This guy.
Yeah, it's been a while since just
hashtag.
you and I having a conversation.
Brooks and Hendricks.
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm Hendricks, by the way, and that's Brooks.
Not Hendricks and Brooks.
Yeah.
It's Brooks and Hendricks.
No, it's Hendricks and Brooks. I'm Hendricks and I'm Brooks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there's some cool names, aren't they?
That's right.
Some cool names, huh?
That's right. Taking it back.
Yeah.
What you been up to, man?
Man, what I've been doing lately, other than beating my meat. Now I'm just playing.
Oh my goodness. I gotta cut that out.
You gotta cut that out. No, we don't do that around here. You know that make you go blind. But no, man, just been chilling, man. You know, little All-Star weekend, watched that. Went and saw One Love, Bob Marley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You went and saw that?
Yeah, have you saw it?
I haven't seen it yet, but
Yeah.
I definitely want to go see it. It was
Mhm.
funny because my friend was actually, my friends were like, who wants to go see that movie?
Really?
I was like, me?
Your friends said that?
Yeah, because I don't think they had a culture of like listening to like a Bob Marley, anything Bob Marley.
Was your friend white or black?
There was one white and one black one.
Which one
And
said
you know-
one said that why go see
Both
it?
of them say it.
Really?
Yeah, they were kind of like, oh yeah, like why were we gonna go see that?
You know, honestly,
I'm like, I was the one that was like, me? I mean, like, but I also, I understand, like, I grew up with that. I grew up listening to Bob Marley music, and my dad was, like, super into it. He used to have,
Yeah.
like, the old records,
Mhm.
and, like, he would be playing that stuff, and we would listen to Bob Marley on repeat. Plus,
Yeah.
you know, growing up in L.A., you know, they have, like, the festival at the Hollywood Bowl. I can't think of what it's called. It might be called Hollywood Bowl. And so, like, my sisters used to go to that all the time. And so, yeah,
Man.
we've been a part of the Bob
Yeah,
Marley.
the Bob Marley, the
thing
reggae
for a while.
reggae. I can't
So-
believe that you said that. Well, I guess I can believe, but I honestly I would expect a black person to say that versus a white person. White people love Bob Marley, man.
Oh, do they?
What?
Oh,
Oh my
okay.
God, they love. I mean, black people love Bob Marley too, especially in America. Like my friend, I have a friend and she's Jamaican, and she, you know, I don't know if she's been to the museum, and she's from Kingston. I don't know if she's been to the museum. Maybe I can't remember. She says she has, but she says a lot of when white people come to her, and some black people too, but you know, a lot of white, they go to the Bob Marley Museum.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I mean, when I went to see it, it was some black and some whites was there. To say,
Okay.
yeah, white people love Bob Marley, man. Black people
Well,
do too, but white people.
I didn't know he was half white. So
You didn't know that he's biracial, yeah.
I didn't know
Maybe
he
they
was
look at him
biracial.
as, hey, he's one of our own too. Well, he's for everybody. You know? So you know,
One Love.
yeah, they love Bob Marley, but hate Barack Obama.
Oh my goodness. So what'd you think of the movie? Did you
I
give
enjoyed
us
it.
a quick review of that?
Quick review without giving away the movie. It only shows glimpses of his early childhood, like glimpse, you know. Of course, it was about, you know, more so about, of course, what he stood for and his music, and doing the album Exodus, and how when he first got started and when he met Rita, his wife. So it was somewhat of their story, and then of course, uh, and it's not like I'm, you know, a lot of people know the history of Bob Marley, but you know, when they attempt to assassination on his life, but you know, it was a pretty good movie. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. You know, I enjoyed it. You know, of course, listening, you know, hearing the music, the tracks, you know, jamming,
Yeah.
and you know, and One Love, and you know, I Shot the Sheriff, and some of those songs that they played in the film.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I thought it was pretty good, man. I think you should definitely check it out. I don't know. I wonder, will they get nominated for an Oscar? I wonder.
I was looking at the reviews. They weren't like the
They
best.
weren't the best.
Yeah, to be honest.
What were the reviews saying? And I'll tell you what some of the Jamaicans were saying.
I don't know. I just glanced at the Rotten Tomatoes quickly.
I didn't look at the Rotten Tomatoes. Like I said, my friend, I have a friend. She's Jamaican, and she was showing me some things on TikTok, and some of the Jamaicans felt a way about the film because they were saying that he should have used was Ziggy. I guess he oversees. I guess what is it, Tough Gong, the production company, and it was Plan B, which is Brad Pitt's. Uh, executive produced there. There's Brad Pitt's production company, and affiliated with Tough Gong, which is what Bob Marley's family with Ziggy. And some of the Jamaicans were saying that some liked the film, and some were saying it's good to that the message out, and some was felt some type of way because they felt he should have used an actual Jamaican to play Bob Marley instead of using I think his last name is Benadir. I can't remember his first name, but he's from England, and he played in because I saw an interview with him, and he was saying that how he sat with the friends and family to kind of to tap into Bob, to see what he was like, and how he thought, and then they was helping him with his patois, speaking, to make sure he tried to get the dialect correctly. So some Jamaicans felt some type of way, but then I heard that they used for the band the Wailers, that they were using some of the actual kids of the Wailers, the actual members. So they did use some Jamaicans,
Yeah.
I thought it's pretty good film.
Well, that's cool, man. I definitely want to check it out. It must be hard to be an actor and, especially if you're a British actor and people want you to play these roles when you're not really from there, I mean, even like, I feel like there's always a weird animosity with the, British actors coming over to America and taking a lot of the roles from the American black people. So,
But with British actors, majority of your British, your black British, if I'm being politically correct, they come to Britain by way of Africa or the Caribbean. They don't come from America over there. So they either like Idris Elba, I think he's either Nigerian or Ghana, one of the two. Then you got Damson Idris.
Yeah.
I think he's, of course, Africa, Nigeria, I believe. And then you have Daniel Kaluuya, African. Yeah. And then you have some, like there was a show called Top Boy. And there were a lot of Jamaicans, but lived in England, because they still use some of the Jamaican patois. Like Jamaicans say, like we say, what's up, what's going on? Jamaicans say wagwan. So some of them still use that same dialect. So they might grew up or came over when they was young or raised in Britain, but they come by way of Jamaica. So, and a lot of Jamaicans, they only go to, from my understanding, they only go to 3 places if they leave Jamaica: England, Canada, or America. Rather it be New York, and then a small community is in Fort Lauderdale, then some are maybe in Delaware, but here in Charleston and West Ashley, where you live, there's starting to be a Jamaican community there. A small community, but it's, a lot of Jamaicans there. And then, of course, Flatbush, New York, and then Fort Lauderdale, and then Canada and England. That's where a lot of Jamaicans go when they leave Jamaica. But yeah, so they come by way in Jamaica and Africa. Check it out, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. I watched American Fiction.
Oh, you did? I wanted. I regret I missed that, man. How was it?
American Fiction was great.
It's true comedy.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's not a true comedy. So it's really
dramedy.
Yeah, it's more of a dramedy. There
Okay,
are
okay.
some really funny moments, but it's
Yeah.
more of a family drama than anything.
It is.
You know, I think a lot of people went in because the trailer is so funny,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
most of the good jokes were in the trailer, to
Oh,
be
really?
honest. Yeah. But I don't really watch trailers until afterwards. So, but the movie was great. I mean, you know, I don't want to spoil too much or anything. But you know, I think it's just mainly about an artist who is writing about great things, and he doesn't want to dumb down his writing, but
Right.
unfortunately that's
Mhm.
what sells. And so it's about him like kind of dumbing down his writing and making something that's more accessible for people. And you know, it's almost like junk food, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's a book. And
Mm-hmm.
so and it goes crazy. It
Yeah.
actually sells. So it's an interesting juxtaposition. I think a lot of people are going to be surprised by some of the things that they talk about, because I think it's a different type of a black perspective,
Mm-hmm.
because they go into a lot of different things. They kind of address like the diversity in Hollywood and how some of it seems forced.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of the things that we're doing is kind of forced. You
Yeah.
know, I think it's great, right, that there
Mm-hmm.
is diversity, but like, you know, they kind of bring up that subject a little bit. And so I think it's going to be interesting for a lot of people to go and check it out. I thought it was great. I think that it deserved its nominations that it
Yeah.
got, the Oscar
Mm-hmm.
nominations it got. So if you have a chance to watch that, I mean, Jeffrey Wright is great.
Yeah. He's a
And,
great
you know,
actor.
Sterling K. Brown is
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
great in movies. This is a little bit of a different role for him,
Mm-hmm.
but he's still like perfect in it. And so I mean, even the person who plays his love interest, I can't think of her
Erica
name.
Alexander.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
she was really good in it
From
as
Living
well.
Single. You ever used to watch that
No,
sitcom with Queen Latifah?
oh, I've heard about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
heard about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I mean, like Cord Jefferson, I think his name is the director. He's
Mm-hmm.
you know, I think he's done several different projects. Like I think he was somehow involved with Lovecraft Country
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
some of those other projects. And
Mm.
so I'm interested to see what he does next. I mean, because this was, to me, this was a great movie.
Yeah.
It's kind of like an old school family drama, and so yeah,
Let me ask you: do you think that movie it plays on the stereotype of it teeters the line of race? I don't want to
oh
say
yeah,
racism, but
well yeah, it
race.
talks about race,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I think again, it's a different type of a black experience,
Right, right,
and
right, right.
so I don't know if it's for every person or how certain people, other groups are going to feel about it, you know, because it's you know, Issa Rae's in this movie too,
Mm-hmm.
and her book sounded really interesting to me when
It
she was just like reading a little
insert.
insert.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, okay, I kind of want to hear what the rest of that story is about. But you know, the Jeffrey Wright's character is like, oh, this is like garbage, you know. So, you know,
Mm.
it's gonna be interesting for people to check out.
Yeah.
So
Because his character is what intellectual, right? And so they want
he's
him to
an
dumb down
he's
so
an
bad.
academic, he's an intellectual, he's a teacher, he's a professor, and so yeah, they kind of wanted to. He just kind of did it as a joke, I think, at the beginning, but
Right,
people
right.
caught on, and so yeah,
Wow.
it's a good movie.
It is, man. And
It's a good concept too. So
I'm glad about that movie. I'm glad they made that movie for the simple fact of if you take someone like you and I, right? They may perceive or they want to put you a certain way, you know, and they may look at you, for example, and say, "Hey, man, what are you doing, man? You're portly. You should be making pies and cakes and cookies." And then when they talk to you, they find out you're an aeronautical engineer. They're like, "Oh, wow, we never would have thought." It's always the perception of people who look like us, like we're this way. And believe it or not, a lot of us have been depicted in certain ways like that.
yeah,
Like if it's like sometimes if they don't perceive you a certain way. I remember one time I had on a blazer, and I was downtown. You know, I'm looking fairly dapper, I might say. You know, I got some compliments on the blazer. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I think this one white guy, I think they would ask me what I had going on. And the first thing he might have said that I wondered if I was a preacher. You know, you couldn't think I was a businessman. I mean, I had some business to do with somebody. I'm like, do I look like a preacher? No. I think he might have said something like, oh, you a minister or something? Or like,
Yeah.
Nah, bro. I'm too much of a heathen to be a minister. Well, we all minister in some sort of way, you know. But you know, so you know, certain things they look at you a certain way and perceive you to be a certain way, or they can't see you in a certain light, you know. And I guess sometimes we all guilty of that, you know, prejudge.
Yeah.
You know, but at least with us, for the most part, we are prejudged off appearance, whereas some people will prejudge you off of a race. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that in itself is
especially living in the South.
Well, yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, I think it's always interesting the way I feel like people always like misread me in a way. And I think it's just because I'm not like the norm. I remember when I first moved down to the South, and you know, I always wear like my fedora. And my sister, my twin, she would dress a certain type of way.
I thought she was Muslim or something when I first.
Yeah, she was kind of dressed a certain way when she came here. And you know, we just looked different. And like I remember we were at a restaurant, and this lady came up to us and she was like, I know you guys ain't from here. Where are y'all from? Just because, you know, we just had like different type of clothing, but also like, you know, I feel like our vibe is different because, you know, we're from California.
When you told me you was from Cali, I got it.
Yeah, exactly.
I totally got it when you said that. Yeah.
So like I've always kind of felt that when I've been living here. So always felt like people were always like, okay, this person's like different.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, the swag is a little different. Yeah, you definitely can tell. Definitely can tell.
But yeah, I mean, American Fiction is a good movie. You should check it out.
Yeah, I definitely.
I also saw Origin, which
what do you think of Origin?
Origin is an interesting movie. I think that it's a movie mainly about this woman who's going through a lot in her life, and it's kind of like her self-discovery of herself now that she's been through all of these things. And in that process, she kind of discovers things not only about herself, but about race in America, if that makes any sense. And it's a solid movie. I really enjoyed that movie. I think that my only issue with the film is this, and I may get a little pushback from this, but to me, the film felt more like a documentary towards the end of the movie, very informational, as opposed to an actual movie. And so that's my only like gripe with the film, is that like I felt like towards the end it just got kind of preachy about this idea, whereas I was just like, man, I'm just a viewer, like just tell me what's going on, you know, like don't really like spell it out for me, or I don't know, it just felt that way towards the end. And you know, listen, Ava DuVernay comes from a documentary background, and so that's kind of what I felt like she kind of went to that area where I wish she would have just stayed with the story
narrative.
But it's a great movie. Yeah. I mean, the actress in this, I can't pronounce her name. I think it's like Ingenue.
Yeah, Ingenue.
Ellis Taylor.
Yeah.
And I've never really been exposed to her. This is the first time I've seen her, but she did great.
I saw King Richard.
Oh, she's in King Richard.
Who
does she play?
Serena's mother.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You saw King Richard, right?
Yeah, I saw King.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah. Okay,
gotcha. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she killed it.
Yeah, I didn't notice that was her. I was like, where? Yeah. But you know, she did great, and John Bernthal is in this movie. There's actually a lot of actors in this movie, and they all do great in this movie. And I think Ava DuVernay. I mean, listen, Selma, 13th, When They See Us, all of these movies that she's done over the years. I mean, she's one of the best directors, not just female, you
Mm-hmm.
know, one of the best directors out
Yeah.
there. So I really enjoy her movies. Yeah.
For what I heard about that film, because I saw an interview where she was talking about the film. I think the book which she turned, the book was never a narrative.
Mhm.
So that's probably why you I guess you probably see it sort of documentary style. So
Yeah.
it was a regular, it was a, I guess, I don't know the style of book. Oh, I don't know if the book was what do you call books?
Nonfiction.
Or no, not even, yeah, or just like informative, maybe like
Oh,
almost
like
like,
information. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if like a how to or motivational or whatever.
Mhm.
From what she was saying, and then I believe, don't shoot the messenger, but she took that and turned it into a narrative
Yeah. That's what she
story.
did.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
probably why you probably felt a little
Yeah. I mean,
stuck
there's
in
a
it.
way, I feel like there's a way to do a movie
Mhm.
to make it feel like it's a movie instead of that kind of, it just got, to me, it's like when movies get preachy at the end,
Mhm.
it's kind of like that whole
'Cause-
ordeal, if
okay.
that makes any sense.
Okay.
Sometimes movies get preachy and like they kind of plaster their ideas over it instead of
Mhm.
letting the viewer take it in and sort of figure out their own, views on things.
Okay.
But I think what I love about Ava DuVernay movies is that I always feel like I come out of it being educated.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
learned so much. I mean, when I think about like 13th,
Mhm.
when I think about when they see us, all of her projects, I always learn way more
Mhm.
about things, especially when it comes to race and like other things that we never knew. And so I always love her movies, and definitely out of this movie, I came out of it like
Yeah.
learning so much more. So that's why I think that it's a great movie to watch, is
Okay.
because this movie will teach you some things. Origin will teach you some
'Cause
things that you didn't know.
I was going to
So
ask you, what's one thing you took away from this film?
I don't want to spoil it too much.
You think you'll spoil it if you tell
Yeah.
what you took away from it?
Yeah. In terms
Okay.
of the educational part of it.
Okay.
So I would say go watch the movie if you haven't seen it yet. And there's a lot of, especially when it comes to race in America and how that connects around the world. I'll just put it like
gotcha.
that.
Okay.
I'll just put it like that.
It's not
And
like
so,
it's not compiled of little short stories, right? Is it to some degree? No.
they touch on things that aren't about her. So yeah, there are little stories within
Okay.
the movie.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, there are little stories in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
But it's mainly about this woman and her discovery and the things that she's dealing with in her life,
Yeah.
as opposed to, I don't know, it being about those stories.
Mm.
And so, but those stories do help tell the story. I know I'm getting like meta on this, but
I
so
know what you mean. Know what you mean. But yeah, her material is very, very informative. She's a great director. Did you by chance to see her series she had on her own, Queen Sugar?
I haven't seen that. No,
Haven't seen it?
no.
Yeah, that was pretty good too.
I heard a lot about that.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And she brought in different female directors
To
give them a
direct
chance.
the episodes.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. And I
How
thought
about
that
that?
was pretty cool. That was
Yeah.
pretty cool. She did that, looking out for other female, no matter what race you are, as long as you're a female,
Mm.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we can get into some topics here.
That wasn't a topic?
Hey, I think that's just us
Yeah.
talking,
Yeah.
and
I think they want to hear what we got to say. They want to hear our opinions.
our opinions.
Yeah, they want to hear.
Those were like movie reviews, kind of,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
I mean,
yeah.
we're both in the industry, so it's kind of.
Yeah.
I feel like we can always riff on movies,
You
and
know,
shows, and different things that are going on.
Since we in that same about shows, I watched He's from your neck of the woods, from Cali. Vince Staples. The Vince Staples show. Did you see the series?
I haven't
on
watched
Netflix?
that.
It's like
I just
I think 5 or 6 episodes, I think.
I've
on
seen
Netflix.
I've seen him on some podcasts. He is funny.
You should
Maybe
see his it's like his one is like it's like a dark comedy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a dark comedy. So
Okay.
yeah.
What is that
it's
on?
funny. Netflix.
Okay. What's it
Yeah.
called?
Vince Staples show.
Oh, okay.
And Kenya Barris, I think he produced, I believe. So yeah. They gave him I think is it 5 eps or is it 6? It might be 6 episode deal. And pretty good show. It kind of remind me of a little bit of Atlanta. Have you ever watched Atlanta?
I've watched parts of Atlanta. I need to watch the show. I need to watch the show.
Yeah. Atlanta. Even
I know our friend was on there, so
yeah. Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Chris Harvey. The man, the myth, the legend himself, Chris Harvey. Yeah, I saw that episode. But yeah, it kind of remind me of that a little bit. Around that same genre.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I need to delve into
a different
that
type of edgy comedy.
I never really watched that show because it was like on FX, and I don't have cable. So.
Oh, okay. But you have Hulu?
I had Hulu. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think it's streaming on Hulu now. I believe.
Okay. I guess I could watch it on there.
Yeah. Because the season ended, but yeah. Pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Word.
Yeah, man.
Well, we are in South Carolina, which means that there are politics to be done here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are calling this the last hope for democracy. Trump and Hailey will battle it out this Saturday. Who you got?
Who should win between the two? Probably Nikki Haley. But is she gonna win?
That's who should win.
Who should win? But
yeah,
I thought for sure. Is she like leading? I mean, is Trump is still leading in South Carolina?
Yeah, Trump. I think Trump's gonna win South Carolina.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to everybody. He's gonna win this, and I think South Carolina is Trump country. I mean, as much as Hailey was here, most of the people that would vote for her are Trump supporters, and so I don't see her doing very well here. I don't even know if it'll be close. I mean,
why do you think she won't have a chance here?
Because it's Trump country, man. I've seen too many people here. I know the vibes here. All those people are gonna vote for Trump. And it's sad because I think, obviously my views have changed on Hailey because of some of the comments that she said the last month or two, when it comes to like race in America and stuff like that.
There's not race.
Which, we got a lot of comments on that. People are like, whatever, blah, 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 but
they're probably the racists.
I know, right?
Who said those comments.
They're telling on themselves right
exactly. A hit dog will holler.
But yeah, I mean, Hailey, I think she's not a bad candidate, to be honest.
No, she's not.
She stands for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
She stood against our industry, which I didn't even know about that. But I think she stands for some good things. When you talk about like term limits, definitely, I think we need term limits for these politicians that are up there in Congress. You shouldn't be a career politician. You shouldn't be dying while you're in office, so
because you're outdated with the times.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these people are making decisions on what's going to happen in the next few years for generations that they won't be around to see.
Exactly.
And so
who were born in like 1940s and
way back in the day.
Yeah.
There might be some people from the 1930s up there. I'm pretty sure.
Dude, if that's the case, they in their 90s.
Yeah. You know, there's people that are like 88,
Yeah, that's why I said it's
89.
1940. My mom is
The
50s and she's in her 70s.
The majority whip
So-
is like 83.
That's
So
crazy.
like, I mean, these people are not that I'm an ageist,
I don't
but
know, you sound
know.
like one. But no, they should have. I think they should have terms.
Yeah. So she has some good points,
Mhm.
but
term limits.
term limits. Yeah, for sure.
Mhm. I agree. What about like Supreme Court? Because you're appointed for life. You think they should have a term limit as well?
Well, I think the Supreme Court is okay now because I feel like there's younger people in there. Now
But they're
it
saying
leans a little more
to the right.
conservative.
Yeah.
But those people are like 50.
Yeah.
I
So
mean
they'll be around for a
that's
while.
different.
Yeah.
But yeah. What do you look for in a candidate like running for president? What are some issues that are important?
Some issues that are important to me? Man, there's so many issues that are important to me. And they're gonna say
Top three. Top three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I always got to say I'm for reparations.
Mhm.
I'm for just not saying not give us more, but make us whole. It's just what I mean. Not saying that we gotta have more or be better than the next person. And not saying we got the power now, so y'all don't got nothing. When I say y'all, meaning white America, who's not for it, but at least just make us whole. Make us whole. First and foremost, and for that, of course, free education. Free education, and I think some form of affordable healthcare.
Yeah.
Or if not, even if you don't do that, even if you make us whole, think about it. If you make us whole, they'll be able to afford healthcare, right? But then you're still gonna have to somehow regulate these, because then the price is gonna go up crazy through the roof. But they say, you can afford it now. So there's always gonna be a pro and a con around that, right? Or if you, policing acts. But once again, if you make us whole, even though we don't do majority of crime, but in poor communities, crime rates gonna go down because everybody's whole. Everybody got money. Why, if I got 300,000, you got 300,000, why I'm gonna rob you? You know what I mean? Now if you got 300,000, I got 5,000, then maybe I might have to pick your pockets. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, hey, I'm not eating over here. And then you got this nice stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, Brooks got it. Brooks got it. He got it, and he can afford to part ways with some of that he got. But that's what I'm saying. The reparations will answer a lot, but that also gonna come with pros and cons. I'm sure taxes are gonna probably go up. They say, hey, y'all can afford it.
Yeah.
And that's the cost of healthcare. That's gonna go up because y'all can afford it. It prices everything gonna go up. All right, I already know that. But once again, we be able to afford it. So it's pros and cons with everything.
Yeah, what's funny is we're already going through this inflation.
Yeah.
And these high prices for everything, really.
And we can't afford it, especially the cost of living.
Even though they say that inflation has gone down a little bit,
as far as gas, I believe, right?
That's what they say, man. But I still see the oil price is pretty high.
But rent,
when I think about,
it's through the roof.
Yeah, rent is through the roof.
Through the roof.
Yeah, it's expensive, man.
Cars.
It's just expensive just to live.
It
shouldn't be that expensive to live. We're talking about Earth. We should be able to afford things to just live.
What's the minimum wage in South Carolina?
$7.25 or something like that, right?
Let me see. You may be right.
Because the cost of living is a lot lower than most places.
Yeah, let me see.
But if you live in Charleston, come on, man. This is almost
getting
to New York prices out here.
It's no.
To get into a good all furnished apartment, you gotta pay
bro, you're right.
Like $2,000 and up.
It's $7.25 an hour. Of course, they know the cost of living always go up, right?
Yeah.
So no, I don't know of any jobs, and when I say we just going, I guess it's safe to say lower level, right? Like fast food. Not to knock anyone who works in fast food, but like I saw hiring like almost every fast food. I saw something at Bojangles once, and I think they were paying like $13 an hour. Some might be paying 12, and but well, like you said, with the cost of living, that you still can't live off of 13.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a car note less than 4. What you pay? You got a car note, right?
I pay like when you
month?
include insurance, I'm paying like $600 and something for my car.
A month?
A month.
What's the car note without insurance?
I don't want to say that over the.
You don't. Why is it?
But
high?
just.
I mean, I'll say
that's
mine.
pretty average. Like.
Is it?
I feel like most people are paying around.
Is it over 4?
Yeah.
Not 5 though.
No.
Okay.
So you just gave it away,
dude. I don't care. Hey, I pay $475 a month.
All right.
For my car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Almost $500.
Okay.
You're not gonna get in my car. I'm driving a Nissan Murano. 2019. Of course, it only had like 18,000 miles when I bought it in 21, the end of 21. So good condition, Plus, I needed something, reliable.
Yeah.
You're not paying no less than $400. Even if you buy a car, you might have to get a car like maybe low 20s to maybe, and then if you're your credit score is not right, you still gonna be in the, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be in the 4s, and then you're gonna be paying a lot of interest. Paying on the principal. That's how they repping you in that aspect, right? Right. So you're not getting no car less than 4s. And if you want to live what's the average price of a decent apartment? Tell me.
I'm telling you, like, to get a good apartment,
1-bedroom apartment,
you need to pay like, I would say like $17,000 to $2,000 to get a good apartment.
Like where you at?
Like a good one.
Good, of course. You live in a more upscale neighbor area.
Yeah.
It is. So of course you're paying slightly more for where you live. I'm
just saying, like, go look at the prices, man.
No, I believe you.
Yeah, I know you haven't looked at it in a while.
I believe you.
But like to find a good place, you really need to like spend like $2,000. And most people can't afford that because it needs to be 3 times what you make, basically.
Right.
So it's most people can't afford that, man.
So if I wanted to move where you are, what would I pay for a 1-bedroom? Or not exactly where you were, around the vicinity where you are. Listen, I think
you got to spend like $15,000 to $2,000 is what you're looking at to find a good spot.
A buddy of mine who lives same area you're in, but he lives on further down Savannah Highway, and I think he pays about maybe 17. His one, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's considered a luxury or whatever.
Is it a 1-bedroom?
It's a 1-bedroom. It got decent space. Dude, I remember when I had mortgages that was, I used to own a duplex. That's what I paid for a duplex. Of course, this was back in 2005 to 2010 when I finally sold in 2010.
Right.
Mortgage for a house was like $826.
Yeah.
I bought when I had my house. It's like $826. So now the rent is like it's crazy. So you figure if you're paying let's just say you're paying $16 for a 1-bedroom, and you got car payments to average about anywhere between $425 to $470. That's already maybe about $2,700. That's just car payment and rent. That don't include your insurance and your utilities.
Exactly.
So you need roughly about, if you bring in the minimum of $3,000 a month, you may not have much left over after that $3,000.
Exactly.
You need at least.
It's hard out here. That's why, like, when the job numbers came out and they were like, "Oh my goodness, we we created so many jobs. It's like, that's people taking 2 jobs, dog.
And I think
People
that's
are getting their
farce.
second job. That's why
Yeah.
those job numbers look great.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, it's always good to see those numbers because I think it makes people feel better. But let's be honest, most people have to get 2, 3 jobs, and they're working 60, 70, 80 hours a week to afford to live.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so weird to me. But when you really think about it, it's like, dang, we had to do that just to live.
Just to live.
Like,
yeah. That's what, and I think in this economy, it raised more entrepreneurs because you can't, for one, people said, oh yeah, job security. No job is secure. Yeah. You can get laid off from any job. Only jobs like, that you may have more security on is maybe if you're in the medical field, where you're an essential. You need them. And plus for what you do, especially if you're a specialist. But well, if some malpractice come along, your ass is gone.
Exactly. Well, look at you said a specialist. Yeah. Look at what our industry just went through. A long strike.
Right.
All those crew members weren't working for months, man. They had to find, regular jobs because the industry was down. And so, I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's tough out there. So, I mean, no job is secure.
No job is secure.
So,
no job is secure.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people had to get retrained. Because I went through that with the government for veterans. Went back to school, and when the recession hit, all those jobs got phased out. And like you said, I think a lot of those numbers that they put out about jobs, I think a lot of that is fluff because they want to make it look like the economy is doing better than what it's actually doing. And then if there are jobs out there, which there are some, but a lot of these jobs aren't paying a decent wage,
a living wage.
Exactly, a living wage,
Did you see that woman? I think she might be running for something in California. And she was like, we need to make the minimum wage like $50 an hour. I was like, dang, that'll never get passed, but dang.
Never, ever. Never.
Can you imagine getting that?
Yeah, but is that just great for California?
So, it is. I think so.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for California, it's probably not that great.
But you got a poor rural state. They be like, nah, bo, down here, you only making $12.55. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What do you think is a fair, livable wage? Let's just say across the board. What do you think?
I mean, I don't think you can make one across the board.
No. Well, that is
because of the cost of living.
For South Carolina,
what do you think? For South Carolina, I think like a $30. I mean, $30? I know that sounds crazy. I probably sound like a radical to most people, but like $30, I think would be pretty good for people. I mean, I wonder how much that is actually. Like,
calculate.
Yeah, let me calculate that real quick.
30.
But to me, like $30 sounds right. Just as like, because then you can actually afford some things.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think a fair, livable minimum wage is $25 an hour. I think that's
so this is almost 60 grand. It's like 57,600 a year.
And just think
57,000.
If you were married,
so
and she, you know what I mean?
Now you're
in six figures.
Exactly.
So that's, and some people get married just for that, What about if you're making 25? What is that?
25?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
fair,
teetering.
It is. That's why I said
teetering.
A fair minimum.
Yeah.
Is 25.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So people could make more than that, like if they were in a certain type of job.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a fair minimum. What is that?
Yeah.
That's like.
So 25. Hold on. That's 48.
It's 48. Okay.
So yeah.
So even
to me, that's teetering.
Yeah, that is. You're right. You absolutely.
Now, if you're married, still
48.
That's pretty close to
what, like
100.
96, close to 100.
Yeah.
And then you file, if you do file jointly, you may can pay less taxes, or you may, you pay a little something. So even at 96, say if you file jointly and then y'all do owe, at best you probably can still walk away with about little over 80,000
Yeah.
together, which is still not bad, you know. But what do you think is a fair, since you've been in Cali, and I know Cali's expensive, what do you think a fair living minimum wage in Cali would be?
I mean, what that woman said, 50.
50.
No, I'm just kidding. By the way, 50 would bankrupt America.
Oh my gosh.
Let's
You
be
think
honest.
so?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're already bankrupt, but like 50, I don't know,
And you know what? I don't,
But
I don't, I
I
don't
would
think
say
it will.
I would say like $10 more than what people make out here. So like a 40.
40. Well, you know, the
Yeah.
minimum here is 725.
No, I mean,
What,
then
17.25?
earlier I said 30
Oh,
for
okay.
out here.
Oh, so Cali,
40,
you think?
yeah, I would step
40?
it up and say 40.
You know, I don't think
Hold
that
on.
would.
No, that's like 80.
That's
So
like
dang,
80.
you might that woman might have been
She
on
might be
something.
onto something. She might be onto something. You know,
Oh.
I don't think those wages would. You think it would bankrupt America? I don't think it will. I think I think what it will do is it may cause a surplus.
It'll be inflated.
Yeah, surplus.
There'd be tons of inflation. There would be
It'd be a lot of money circulating.
Just think about like the amount of money. I mean, we didn't even print that much money compared to what doing something like that would be. Like you would have to print way more money.
Yeah.
But yet you already
That's what I'm
see
saying. It'll be a surplus.
look at how much money we're spending on food and
Yeah,
all of that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So it'd almost like triple or double that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like if we really did that.
Yeah.
So
It'll be a surplus. And I think the thing is, a lot of people don't realize that they'll tell you, oh, yeah, we did hit a recession because the economy had to repair itself because they was so much money was flowing and they was giving out loans and people was getting property. Everybody was, what do you call it, living high on the hog.
mhm.
And then people taking, nothing being put back. So eventually the economy had to repair itself. So when it's a surplus, you know what they do, right?
What do they do?
They burn money. You take in the money, you burn the money, so therefore there's less money circulating. So if it's a surplus, there's less value on that dollar because everybody got it. People will throw it away now. They don't mind, even though there's crime, and it's, majority of your crime is over money, right? So that shows the dollar is still strong. It shows it's very strong because it's so strong you're willing to kill for it. So, and it's messed up, but they figure that is a strong economy.
Yeah.
And that money is ultimately power. That other countries, we can spend our dollar in their countries. They rather have our currency than their own currency. And people coming over here because they want a better way of life. So that's what gives America its power. So that's all. If it's a surplus, more money, and that's one thing they were saying with the reparations. It'll be, well, where they gonna get this money from? They got the money in the
They
treasury.
got it, man.
They got it. They just don't want to give it to you.
You know what?
It'd be
You
a
know what
surplus.
black people need to do?
But
They need to change reparations from being called reparations.
to what?
Call it Ukraine, and they will pay the money. Okay.
We probably get what?
Call-
Would they give $1 billion?
Call it. No, I'm not gonna say that because that would
No,
definitely
what
get
you
us
gonna
canceled.
say?
Listen,
Just bleep it out.
they are putting in all of this money to all of these other countries.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, some of these countries are our allies, right?
Yeah.
But, we just have to change our name. Like, change the name of the reparations.
Uh-huh.
Call it Ukraine. I'm dead serious
Well-
because look at how much money we're giving to these people. I mean, they're
Hey.
trying to give another $60 billion to these wars.
Right.
And it's like, man,
You may be on to something. You may be on something. Because you know what? There are some black Jews. There are a lot of black Jews, or Hebrews, as I like to call them.
Mhm.
There's a lot of brothers out here circumcised too, And me being, I'm one of them. I'm circumcised as well. My mother made sure. So it's a lot. So I think they can bring some money on. They can bring some money on, and there's a lot of Hebrews came into the Atlantic slave trade because there's document proof and and even in Virginia, there's monikers, there's documented proof. There's some black Jews, Hebrews, whatever you want to call them, you know. So, you know, maybe they might need to spread their wealth. Man, you're right. Maybe they need to call it something else.
They need to call it something else, man. Because I think that's the only way that it's going to be put through. It's like, I mean, if we were called Ukraine, we would be rolling. Paid. So
you talk about a surplus. But the thing is, like what Dave Chappelle said when he did the black reparation, we get that money, someone's get that money, boy. They was like, man, they couldn't wait to give it back to us. Man, hey, they'll buy so much stuff, man. And who knows? Because we are the consumers, we don't own a whole lot of businesses.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe a lot of the whites are like, oh, well, y'all give them all this money. They be like, damn, wow, our business is flourishing. They literally came in Gucci and bought us out, you know. And so trust me, they gonna spend some money. So they're gonna get some of that bread back.
Speaking of money, what did you think about Trump being basically? They found out that he was like falsifying his records when it came to inflating the value of his properties and some of these other things. It was like $350 million or whatever it was. I can't remember the number that he has to pay back now.
Yeah, like $350 million or something.
Yeah, something like that. What did you think of that? Do you think that was like fair to go that high? Because a lot of people were like taken back by the number of it.
I'm honestly not surprised. A lot of business people do that because the more you inflate your assets, the more money you will get. You know, you will obtain, and but then at the same time, we talking about Trump. You know, this man is ego driven. He's been president of America for God's sake. You know, he even though a sitting president is not supposed to have businesses or but he still made money off the economy.
Yeah,
you know, his supporters. You know, he can like literally sneeze in a snot rag and cut it up in pieces and say, for $50, you can get and man, they will buy it. They will. You saw his sneakers. You saw the sneakers, right?
I saw that.
Them gold sneakers.
I was wondering if that was real or not.
Yeah, that's real. He went to SneakerCon. So pretty much, man, whatever Trump put his hands on turns to gold. $350 million. You know who's gonna pay that? His supporters. I'm dead ass. His supporters gonna pay that. I mean, come on, think about it. If you was I mean, honestly, if I was Trump, I know they love me. I'd sell some stuff too. You know, I mean, can I knock him for that? You know,
he gonna have to sell a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
$354 million.
Yeah. Trust me, them supporters gonna, you know, when they stop the steal, not stop the steal, but build the wall. All the money he made off of that, he can kick out to that, and then then they don't know they claiming that. He's supposedly worth about I want to say, don't quote me, maybe around 2.3, 2.1 billion. But they don't know how much of that is inflated. You don't know how much of that is liquid. You don't know how much of that is an asset. So he's banned from doing business in New York. He can't do no business in New York anymore. And that's where he's from. You can't do business at home. You heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about that, yeah. 2.6 billion as of 2024. They're saying
So
Forbes.
I don't necessarily know if that's all. I doubt that's all liquid.
Yeah.
He might be like.
No, I don't think that's liquid.
I think majority of that is those Trump, those plazas, and I guess what he has, golf resorts or something like that.
He has properties all over the world.
Yeah.
So I mean.
Right. So I would say if he's 2.6.
Yeah, that's what it said.
I would probably think maybe 1 point. I would say he might be maybe 600 or 700 million liquid, and maybe like I would say maybe about 1.9 or something like that. 1.9 or something like billion is assets. I would think maybe 700-800 million or something like that, which is still. That's a nice piece of change.
Yeah. I think these numbers are pretty high for these rulings.
You think it is?
350 million? Dang.
But think about where they get the number from.
And then
from him.
That one woman That one woman.
Oh, Fanny,
She's like, I can't remember her name.
the
but
prosecutor
no,
in
no, not the
Atlanta?
prosecutor.
Oh, okay.
We could talk about that too.
Uh,
But I'm talking about the woman who I think there was like SA sexual assault.
he had to pay off two different
Well,
women.
that woman, it was like she got like what 70 million or something like that.
Yeah,
I was
Stormy
like,
Daniels,
dang.
and there's another woman
It was a
too
ruling.
that he had to pay off.
No, not Stormy Daniels. I'm talking
another
about the
lady?
most recent lady who took Trump to civil court.
Mm-hmm.
She got a ruling for like, I think it was like 60 or 70 million.
Dang.
I'm like, that much money?
That kind of money? Shit. Trump could
So-
smack me on the ass and let me soon.
Oh my God.
Smack me on the ass.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I'm going for 110. I'll settle. Shoot, I'll settle for 90 million.
Yeah, she pretty much got like 70, 75 million, something like that, because she had already won a ruling.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Trump's going to win South Carolina?
The way it's looking, he probably will.
Yeah.
Even if Nikki Haley don't win South Carolina, I don't think she should lose by a wide margin, being that this is her home. But like I said, I would try to rally the conservative white women. I definitely try to get them on my side. I try to some way try to appeal to them, but some of them follow their husbands, so they're not well, they were saying like with conservative white women, they'll follow their husband, versus whereas your liberal black women, they vote their own interests. Even if their husband might be Republican or Democrat, black women vote their own interests.
They're glued to the
They're glued to the
Democratic
Democratic
Party,
Party, exactly.
no matter what.
No matter what,
So-
and is that safe to say that white women are glued to the conservative?
No, they're not.
Republican Party?
They're not.
glued?
I think white women are more independent.
They're more
Because
independent. You think so?
yeah, because everybody's trying to get the suburban woman or whatever they call it.
Oh, yeah.
And
with the soccer
they
mom.
swing back and
They
forth.
swing back and forth.
So
Okay,
it's more
okay.
of,
But a lot of them
whichever
voted.
candidate.
A lot of them voted. They thought like with
Because a lot of them voted for
for Trump.
Obama
Yes,
years
Obama.
ago.
Yeah,
And then you saw them vote for,
for
Trump.
Even
and then,
after,
and then
the
now
whole
they
grab
voted
him by the pussy. And all that
exactly.
stuff.
And then they voted for Biden.
They voted for.
So
So yeah,
Yeah,
And
I
I
mean, they
thought for
swing back and
sure that Hillary Clinton. I said, "Oh, this is a shoo-in. She got this sewn up." I said, "Man, she got all these women." Then I saw
let
some
me
of
say
the
this about the election, because
evangelical.
we gotta wrap it up in a few minutes here. But
Go ahead.
let me say this about the election, because I'm glad you brought up Hillary Clinton, because if anybody remembers 2016, what happened in 2016, it wasn't that a lot of people didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. It was the fact that that people just didn't show up for her. Okay, does that make sense? Like, a lot of people just didn't come out and vote for her because they disliked her.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that Trump won.
What? Yeah.
It was
with
the fact
whole,
that
the emails and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it was the fact that people didn't want to vote for
they
Hillary
didn't
because
trust
they
her.
didn't like Hillary and they didn't
Mhm.
trust her and all of
Mhm.
that stuff. And so I know I don't want to scare people, but 2016 is shaping up.
again with Trump.
Yes, 2024 is shaping up like 2016.
Only one replace him is
Because
Nikki Haley.
Nobody wants to vote for Biden. Let's be honest. Nobody's excited about voting for Biden.
No.
Okay. Let's be honest about that. And so what's going to happen is a lot of people are going to stay home. Instead of voting for Biden, instead of getting out and getting the vote, a lot of people are going to stay home. And what's going to happen is Trump may win again.
Maybe.
And so that's why I know people always say it's the most important election, you know. And this one's going to be interesting.
How you think the
Because
economy
I
is
think a
gonna be if
lot of
Trump
people are
wins?
going to stay home.
How do you think the economy is going to be if Trump wins?
The economy?
Yeah, how you think?
I think that's one of his strongest points is the economy. But yeah, I mean, I can give him his flowers on that. I mean, I think the economy is going to look good under him.
yeah.
But it's just it's about all the other stuff. It's about him talking about how he's not going to leave office. It's about all of that stuff.
With the Constitution, he wants to get rid
Yeah.
of the Constitution so he can stay in power. You think if he
It's
gets in
more about
office,
that.
what happened to the Platinum Plan? He going to He'd be like, nope, that was my last term.
Oh man,
It's null and void. It's null and void.
yeah.
Yeah, Trump ain't doing nothing for you. He ain't gonna do nothing. If you're wealthy,
Yeah,
that's
I know.
your best bet is to make wealth.
That's when he helps you.
Yeah,
That's when he helps you.
That's when he's fighting for you. That's all. Pretty much, that's all Republicans.
Real quick, we got about a minute.
Mm.
The All-Star game. Did you watch it? What did you think?
I watched it. Was I too excited? Not like how I used to be. The biggest flack was the slam dunk contest. I think it's not as creative. The dunkers that's in there. So they got a guy from the G League who's hungry, and he won. This white guy. I mean, dunking, doing all kind of nasty dunks. And you see on social media these guys dunking. I don't know if you watch any of those clips where they're in the gym. These young doing all kind of creative dunks, and you don't get guys in the NBA don't slam dunk contests. They don't do those things. I mean, me and some of my friends were talking about this on social media, and I was pretty much saying like, man, and he was saying the slam dunk contest was boring, and I said it's boring because the creativity. He said, well, I think they're creative. I said, no. I said, well, yeah, but to a point. I said, only thing they're doing is taking the same old dunks and they may put a little twist on it. I said, and that's why you don't see the judges don't give out perfect scores no more. You know, and that's if they're not being biased, but they're not giving out perfect scores anymore. The dunks just not that exciting. They're just not that creative. And then with the East West Coast game was the highest. It was like over 120 points for the East. They said that's the highest ever over that. But that's just for fun. Reason they don't play no defense. They do all kind of, lobbing the ball to themselves and dunking, and nobody plays defense. So that's just for fun. It's for charity. It's for fun. Yeah. What'd you think about it?
I didn't watch any of it.
Oh, so
I'm not a basketball person anymore.
Yeah.
Basketball has become baseball for me.
Oh, wow.
Sad to say it. I'll go and watch a game, but
on TV.
Watching it on TV just ain't the same for me. Once Kobe left, that was it.
You'd be surprised. Some people say they ain't hardly watching that much, but they tune in for football.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for football to come back.
Football to come back. Yep. Yeah. You think football should have more games than just up to 18 games?
Nah, because those people are already getting hurt.
Yeah, you're right. That is a good point. Get these guys beat up for our benefit.
Yeah.
So we can watch them play. Exactly. You're right. Yeah, that is a smart thing to limit the game. It was 16, I think, what is it, 18? No, 18 games?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. I know it's 17 for sure. Then if you make the playoffs, it's 18, and then Super Bowl if you get that far.
Right.
Yeah. I agree. I went to the All-Star game years ago. No, I went to All-Star weekend when it was in Atlanta.
Did you really?
Yeah, this was like in maybe 2000, maybe 2001, I think it was.
Oh, that was back when it was great.
Oh, yeah, way back in the day. I went to Atlanta.
Was that Vince Carter?
I believe so, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, I didn't go to the game, but
okay.
That's when 50 Cent album first came out. G-Unit. You know what I'm saying? In the clubs, that's another joint first it came out. Yeah, that 50 Cent first drop is back in 01. Man, that's like, what, 23 years ago almost. Yeah, about 23 years ago. Yeah, man, I went to Atlanta to hang out. And you know how much, All-Star Weekend, how that stimulates your economy? They was going to have it in Charlotte one time, but then they didn't. I think it was some laws they passed. I think something dealing with they had that law about using the transgender, using the bathroom.
Yeah.
I think it was something to deal with that, And then the NBA pulled out. And of course this year was Indiana. I don't know where it's going to be. You know where the All-Star game is going to be next year? Man, just think, imagine if they had
it all just deals with politics pretty much, right?
Yeah. Imagine if they had it in Vegas. Oh, my goodness. But then, no, they won't because there's no team in Vegas. So they won't have it in Vegas.
There's arenas out there.
Yeah, but they still won't have it. They have it every place where there's a team. Yeah. So that particular economy can eat off of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yep. Like you said, it's politics.
Yeah.
It's all politics. Politics.
100.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Well, we're gonna have to leave it there.
Yeah, man. Let's leave it there because I'm sleepy.
Yeah, me too. I was losing it there at the end.
Yeah, me too. You just saw I'm rambling. I should have probably had a shot of Fireball.
I know, right?
I'd really be rambling.
Then you would have been wilding.
You ain't know what I would have
said. Some crazy stuff. You would have been. You would have been saying some crazy stuff.
Let you get a shot or two. You start rapping some Drake.
I'm gonna be lively.
You still lively. Little big Drake. You a big Drake fan, right?
It's gonna be the best. It's gonna be.
You big? Aren't you a big OVO?
It's gonna be the greatest. Yeah,
still a big OVO.
Listen, I mean, you can't deny somebody who's been doing it. Drake has been doing it since 2009. What is that? How many years is that? That's literally like 15 years. That's why Drake's the greatest. Drake is the greatest because he's been doing it. J.
Cole is the greatest rapper right now.
He's been number one. He's been number one.
He has.
For 15 years.
Yes.
That's unheard of in the rap game. I mean, listen.
Yes.
I mean, to crank out that much music over 15 years that he's done, and the streaming records and all that stuff. I know a lot of people think that Eminem's like number one or something. But I mean, Drake is number one to me. I think he's the greatest just based off
Kanye West. You like him over Kanye?
I mean, listen,
loved Kanye.
I think Kanye for me is number one. But when I talk about somebody being number one for 15 years, Kanye is the kind of person who will do a project every once in a while.
Yeah,
Drake is doing it every single year.
You know why?
Sometimes 2 albums in a year.
You know why, right?
Why?
Because Drake don't produce his tracks. Kanye do a lot. He's writing, getting some, of course, and some people say, yeah, Kanye might have had writers, but you gotta realize, yeah, they may help him with some of his lyrics or write his hooks, but this dude is actually making beats too. So he's wearing multiple hats. Yeah. Whereas Drake, what he has 40, is his producer. I know he mentions 40 a lot. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's his producer.
That's the producer. 40 doing the tracks. Dude, you doing the lyrics, and then you get help with the lyrics too. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why he can put out so much music.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Are you trying to use that as a defense, against
him?
No.
I'm saying that's I'm saying some of
the greatest music has been made.
No. I'm saying that's what you saying. How he putting out so much music. He's not making the tracks. Kanye's actually making most of the tracks. So it's gonna take him a little longer. Then it gotta be.
Listen, Kanye's number one for me.
He's number one.
He's number one for me. But I mean, I'm just saying that, just based off of being number one for 15 years. Think about that. I mean, a lot of people when Tupac died, he was only 25? Yeah. 26, and he was only 25, on top of the game for 3 years or something like that. When Jay had his era, he was only on top of the game for a quick second.
Jay's not on top anymore. A lot of people in New York beg to differ. They call Jay the GOAT.
First of all, he doesn't make enough music.
They call Jay the GOAT.
Where's he been in a while? I mean, same thing. All of these other rappers, man, they had a moment.
He probably said he don't have to put out as much music.
Lil Wayne had a moment, which I think was the second greatest moment in hip-hop
I'm gonna tell you
history.
something, man. I'm gonna tell you something, boy. Lil Wayne more fire than all them dudes.
Oh yeah, I like Lil Wayne.
And I'm not saying I'm not saying he's my favorite rapper, but some of the tracks, I think Lil Wayne better than Jay-Z. He better than Drake. Lil Wayne put Drake on. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some rappers that can hang with him, but I put it when they did the with the verses. And I remember Jay-Z was saying that nobody can stand on that stage when we can see him. And I said, hey, salute. You know what I'm saying? I know this is friendly competition, sparring, back and forth lyrically. And salute to Jay-Z. Salute to Jay-Z. Jay-Z makes some bangers, some night track. I like some of his music. But in my heart of heart, I believe Lil Wayne can take him. I believe Lil Wayne can get him.
Lil Wayne's your goat?
No, 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 no. I don't have a goat.
Come on, man.
I don't have a goat in hip hop.
You don't have a goat in hip hop?
Nah, I don't have.
You don't have like. All right, who's your favorite rapper then? Out of everybody.
Favorite. I don't really have a favorite rap. Okay, but like mine go through genres of years. Like favorite rap group Outkast, right? Outkast.
Okay.
Favorite living New York MC be Nas. See, we used to mess with Nas. A lot of cats mess with Jay-Z, but I used to listen to more Nas stuff before Jay-Z stuff really became pop. And I remember seeing Jay-Z way before Nas, back when he was with Jazzo. And this was probably, I don't know if you was born, but this might have been like early 90s, or maybe you was real little. This back when Rap City used to come on TV. It had Rap City. And I remember seeing Jay-Z back then, he used to rap fast. Then I never really seen an album or anything from him. I just remember I saw him, okay, whatever. And I never heard nothing from him later. I'm not saying he wasn't rap, I haven't heard anything. And then who came out? Nas came out, and Nas changed the game with New York. Certain rappers changed the game. Nas came out in his era. Big Daddy before him, Big Daddy Kane, changed the game. He came out. Nas came out, a young dude, not too much, maybe about a year older than me. Nas came out. Nas changed the game. Wu-Tang as a group, they changed the game. Outkast and stuff, they changed. Certain hip hop acts changed the game, right? Then you had who else was it? Like Biggie. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And after Nas, then Biggie came,
Think about Biggie's moment. It was only for a moment.
Yeah, because Biggie
maybe 5 years. Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying that like nobody has been on top of the game.
Like Drake? You talking about as success and album sales and things like that?
Every single year.
Hey, I'm not saying you're wrong.
People try to act like, oh, we don't listen to Drake. We don't listen to any of his music. It's like,
on top.
Okay, who's listening to his music? Because every time I look, that man's on top of the charts.
He been on top.
So they secretly listening to it or something.
He been on top. He been on top. I won't lie.
Yeah.
I won't lie. Drake has been on top, man. Drake has been doing his thing, man. Been doing his thing, but is Drake better than Lil Wayne?
No.
Lil Wayne, that boy got some lyrics, man.
But Lil Wayne only had a moment. Like Lil Wayne, pretty much from 2007, I feel like till like 2009, he was like number one, right? But I mean, listen, that was it. That's 2 years.
You think he only had a 2-year run? Are you serious?
I mean,
when he was with the Hot Boys.
I'm talking about when he was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2008, he was like the man. Mm-hmm. He could have done whatever, but I know he had to he went to jail or something, and so that kind of like took him out. But he also he started putting on other people. But 2007, 2008, because 2005 and 2006, we were talking about Kanye and 50 still. I mean, you remember they had the whole
oh yeah.
I'm just talking about the history
was coming out.
I'm just looking at the history of all that. I mean, it was kind of okay, this artist and this artist and this artist and this artist, and then it's been Drake.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, there's other people out there.
Right. No, I hear what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
When you think about Migos and some of these other people who've come up, but
and
consistently,
for you're
15
right. Consistently, it's like you said, it's been this artist. You can tell there's certain artists that drop, and it's about them. Kanye, it was about Kanye. It's about Nas. Like you said, it's about Drake. Lil Wayne is about whoever's hot. It's about that artist. You know what I'm saying? It's about that artist and that time period. Wu-Tang was about them as a group. outcasts, as a group. So everybody has I think everybody has their moment in the sun. If you hot and you got the ear of the people, everybody has their moment in the sun. Some people will just sit in the sun a little longer than others, I mean, truthfully. But yeah, everybody has their moment to shine. Everybody has their moment. Yeah.
For sure.
I agree, bro.
Well,
yeah, man.
That's been the Black Summit.
That's been the Black Summit.
Back at it again.
Yep. I'll ramble. We just wanted to talk to y'all. Just tell you some of the things that was on our mind.
Exactly.
Gotta think about it.
Gotta keep you guys up to date.
Yep.
All right.
Always.
Way more stuff is coming. So definitely stay tuned.
Yeah, man.
Also, thank you for 600 subscribers.
Oh, yeah.
We now have 600 subscribers on YouTube.
And keep on subscribing. We're going to have some real good, juicy stuff for y'all. We're going to bring y'all some OnlyFans people.
Oh, my goodness. Here we go.
We let it go into their world. Like we said, entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Because people making money by any means necessary.
That's right.
So we got some more things in coming down the pipe.
Absolutely.
For you guys. But yeah.
Once again, I'm Brooks.
And I'm Hendricks.
And we out.
Peace.
Peace.